Welcome to the InShape Fitness Show. I'm Kim Watkins. I'll be your trainer, and this week's workout is called Strong Body Essentials. I'll be guiding you through a very basic array of moves that work the entire body, boost your metabolism, and leave you feeling great without any equipment and without that stinky gym. Now let's do a quick warm-up with a march in place. We're going to march in place for 30 seconds. Now, if you're not standing, go ahead and stand up for me. Make sure that your shoulders are back, relaxed but back. Your tailbone is tucked in and your abs are engaged. And you're going to march, meaning lift your knees up higher than your hip level and swing your arms forward and back. Time starts now. Keep those knees up high, land lightly on your feet. Don't slam your feet down as you're marching in place, and get yourself mentally ready. Start breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. This is a warm-up. We're going to do 3 warm-up moves in total. So this just gets the blood flowing a little bit, helps you get a rhythm of that breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, something that's so vital to the efficiency and the your capability as someone who's exercising. You really want to make sure that your exercise, your muscles get that oxygen, and then they're able to get that carbon dioxide out of the body. Okay, now we're going to do some jumping jacks. Pretty standard move, so you probably don't need that much instruction, but just remember a couple things. Number 1, you want a slight bend in your knee at all times for shock absorption. You want to land lightly on the balls of your feet, and you don't want wet noodle arms. You want a slight bend, but you're going to lift your arms in a controlled way all the way up, touching at the top. Time starts now. Jumping jacks are so great. Jumping in as a whole, it's a great exercise because plyometrics, which basically means that you're jumping, it activates neurotransmitters in your feet that send signals all the way up through the body and really activate all those cells, get things moving, and that in its essence is what your metabolism is. It's the efficiency of the body working, the cells working at their smallest sort of level, and then working together as the different organs and tissues and whatnot. Okay, last warm-up move, 30 seconds is over on your jumping jacks, is to stand up really tall, feet touching, so toes and heels completely touching, and then isometrically contract all of those muscles in your legs, scoop in your lower abs and up for a pelvic floor squeeze, a Kegel squeeze, if you will, and then make circles with your arms. So extend your arms out to the sides, palms facing down, and then just make little circles with your shoulder joint. No bend in the elbow at all. Controlled circles in one direction. We'll switch directions in another 5 seconds. Very good. Keep breathing. This isn't an aerobic move, but you definitely will fatigue your arms, so you still want to make sure that you're taking in the oxygen, getting the carbon dioxide out. Switch directions on those circles. Another couple seconds here, and then we're going to really jump right on in. I'm wondering if you were live here and you were able to guess what your guess would be of the first move. It's one of my favorites. I do them every single day. Sometimes when I'm brushing my teeth, squats are first. And we're going to do a standard squat first. So separate your feet shoulder width apart. Make sure that your pinky toes and heels are in line. You do not want your feet to turn out because you want to make sure that you distribute your body weight on the back side of your body as much as the front. The thigh will take over and do all of the work if you let it. So now, using your arms for balance, extend it out forward or hands on your hips. Lower your body by sitting down and back into an imaginary chair, right? Really focus on keeping those knees from going past the tips of your toes. So you're going to have to sort of sit back. Trust me on this. Even if you fall backwards a little bit, no big deal. Your toes come up, and then exhale as you squeeze your glutes, press your heels into the floor, and stand all the way up. Even at the very tippy top, kind of thrust the pelvis forward a little bit just to make sure that those hip flexors are fully extended. Okay, time starts now. You're going to go ahead and do 30 seconds of the standard squat. Move with control, especially in the first few seconds here. You're going to inhale on your way down, exhale as you come up. A count of maybe 2 to 3 seconds in both directions. Really control both directions. Do not let momentum build up. It's a physical force that will help you and make the workout easier. And we don't really want you to do that. We really want you to control, so move slowly. Now start moving a little bit faster. You've got 10 more seconds. And then you will move on to another squat, actually. So don't get excited. We're not going to actually finish with this move yet. We're going to do some squat jumps now. Keep squatting down, and this time as I'm going to instruct you through one of them, and then we'll start the time on the squat jump. So you're going to do the same exact thing that you just did. You're going to lower your body by sitting down and back into your imaginary chair. Now, as you come up, press into the floor, lift off, explosively lift off, but gently, using the balls of your feet. And then as you land, make sure that your toes don't turn out. Then shift your weight back to your heels as you go right back into another squat. There should be no sort of separation between the jump and the next squat. You want to go right back into the squat, and you don't really fully stand up at all until the very end. Okay, so time starts now. 30 seconds of squat jumps. Keep those arms out in front of your body for balance if you need to, or your hands can be on your hips. Try not to lean forward, collapsing at your waist. You want to keep your abs engaged the entire time. Keep the shoulders back. Remember, your ears and your shoulders should always be in line vertically. So keep those shoulders back. Don't curl your shoulders in like you're sitting at your desk. You really want to make sure that you have an open chest. Deep breathing. Continue in through your nose, out through your mouth. You've got only 5 seconds left. So 2 more maybe. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, stand up and just sort of shake out your legs a little bit. I'm sure they're 1 minute of squats, fairly significant amount of effort on the legs. And we're not going to finish there because we're actually going to squat all the way down next and put your hands on the floor. We're going to do some burpees. So remember to use that same sort of concept as you're squatting down. You really want to shift your weight to your heels. You're going to put your hands on the floor. This is a walking burpee, so you're going to walk 1 foot all the way back and then the other. This puts you into push-up position, and then bring both feet up underneath your body as you then stand all the way up by, again, pressing the heels into the floor, and really focus on squeezing your butt cheeks as you lift up. All right, 30 seconds starts now. These are walking burpees. We're going to do 30 seconds here with the walking burpee, and then we're going to take it up a notch to the full Monty burpee, where you jump your feet back and jump your feet forward. So I'll allow you, obviously you get your discretion here. If you can't handle the jumping part, then you go right back to the walking part. No big deal. You've got 10 more seconds on the walking burpee, by the way. And we're going to then just keep it going. Very nice, very nice. Keep breathing. Now we're switching to the full burpee. So as you start the next one, squat all the way down, your hands are on the floor, jump your feet back, jump your feet forward, and then stand all the way up again. All right, and again, same with the standard squat, where when you stand all the way up, make sure that the pelvis is thrust a little bit forward in order to ensure that your hip flexor muscles fully extend and you get the pelvis itself fully vertical before you go back into the next burpee. You've got 10 more seconds. If you have to take it back down to a walk, don't you even worry. You're moving, the body switching directions, standing ups, and getting back down on the floor. All that kind of business is so aerobic that it really doesn't matter. Okay, stand all the way up. Again, take a deep breath. We're going to do a little bit of jumping. We've got 2 jumping moves, and then you're going to be down on the floor for the balance of the workout. So the standing moves are going to end here in just about 90 seconds. The first thing that you're going to do is a bunny hop. And I'll give you a couple of variations on this in case you want to make it a little harder, a little easier. But the easiest part of the bunny hop is just lifting about an inch off the floor, landing lightly on the balls of your feet with a slight bend in your knee, hands on your hips. That's the most basic bunny hop, and it's really not that hard. I have 83-year-old people do bunny hops. As far as my private clients in New York City, it can be done by pretty much anybody, and you should be able to jump just a little bit. So if you want to make it harder, I'm going to start the time in about 5 seconds here. You can either jump on one leg, or you can add a little bit of a twist with your hips. All right, time starts now. So go ahead and start jumping. You can also jump a little higher, pressing a little bit, more explosion off of the balls of the feet in order to get a little more height. And that makes it a little more challenging as well. Coming up on 15 seconds for your bunny hops. We're going to do one more hop, which is a lateral ski jump, coming up here in just a couple seconds, and we're not going to stop. So I will tell you when to start jumping side to side and we will jump right into that. No pun intended. Go ahead now. Let's do that lateral jump. It's a ski jump. So if you're a skier, and it's February, of course, so maybe you're going to be going to ski sometime in the near future. This is a really good exercise to make sure that those lateral muscles are being used in the right way, because that's so important in skiing. Jumping left to right, keeping your feet straight, keeping your feet parallel with each other, I guess is a better way to put it. Just don't let your toes turn out. All right, you've got a few more seconds. Very good. Coming up on 10 minutes of our workout, so we're almost halfway finished. We're going to go down to the floor in 3 seconds. 2 and 1. Really good job here. If you need a sip of water really fast, go for it. Couple deep breaths, and then lower your body down into a hands and knees position where your hands are directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are directly underneath your hips. We're going to start with a limbering up of the back in a cat-camel yoga pose. Pretty simple. You've probably done this before. And the way that works is you're going to drop your head like a bowling ball. And without shrugging your shoulders or moving your hips, just focus on only the spine moving. The spine is going to curl up, round up like you're a scared cat. Try to get the spine as high into the air as possible. And take a deep breath. All right, go ahead and start that now. We're going to get going with the cat-camel move. And then as you exhale on that next exhale, big, deep inhale, and then an exhale as you lift up your head, curl invert your spine in the other direction. So you're contracting the muscles of the lower back and lifting your head and chest. Another deep breath. As you exhale again, drop the head again like a bowling ball, round up the spine. Try to get the spine even higher this time. Very good. And then take another deep exhale and lift your head and your chest. Contract the back. Really squeeze that lower back. And now neutralize everything. Neutralize your head and your back. Let's do a bird dog. This is a really great stability exercise for the paraspinal muscles in the back, which are smaller muscles that run vertically up and down the spine. They connect the spine to each other, and it's important to keep those muscles strong as well. So you're going to reach your right arm out, palm turned towards your head, and then extend the left leg straight back, not up. The hips and the shoulders stay perfectly flat, parallel to the floor. So you don't want your limbs sort of flying out and up. You want them to go straight back in one line. And then switch to the left arm and the right leg. And 30 seconds starts now. Well, let's just do those in a nice controlled way. So you extend the limbs straight out. Pause for a second at the most extended position. Then slowly and gently and with control, put your hands and legs back down on the ground and extend the opposite two limbs. A couple more seconds, 10 seconds in fact. No, you don't want momentum to start building up. You really want to control. Breathe deeply as you extend out. And you're now going to get your heart rate back up. We're going to do some mountain climbers. So your hands are going to remain in the same position, but you're going to lift your knees up off the floor and get yourself into kind of a push-up position. Your butt, you want to try to keep your butt as down as it possibly can be. And mountain climbers are such that you're going to jump both feet forward, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, then jump the alternating foot forward and the other foot back. So it's a scissoring of your feet on the floor, landing lightly on the balls of your feet. Time starts now, 30 seconds. Mountain climbers, if you need to take it down to a walk where you're only moving 1 foot at a time, that is okay. But if you can, just keep that jump going, keep the butt down. And when the butt is down, what happens there is that your abs are engaged. And your abs are going to be engaged quite a bit because the next couple of moves involve this isometric contraction of the 3 layers, all layers of your abdominal cavity. The transverse abdominis on the inner sort of layer, which wraps the rib cage, your obliques, and then the front and the back muscle. But you really want to keep the butt down as you move, in this case, to keep those abs completely engaged. You've got 3 seconds. And now lower your hands down to your forearms. We're going to do a standard plank. And I'll give you a couple of variations to make that a little more complicated a little more challenging if you would like. And we'll start the 30 seconds now. So your feet are in the same position, resting on the balls of your feet, and your forearms are on the floor. and you're squeezing your butt cheeks. If you need to make the move a little bit harder, do a corkscrew with your hips so that you're dipping the right hip down, then the left hip. You can also, if you need to make this easier, you're almost halfway, by the way, you can lower your body to your knees, resting on the sort of the bottom part of the thigh. And that makes it a little less engaged, but it's still a plank. Don't drop your body all the way to your tummy yet. You've got 4 seconds left. Very nice, very nice. Okay, take a deep breath. The next move is push-ups. So you're going to probably not like me so much after this, but that's okay. So now you're going to lift your body back up to your hands. Only widen your hand stance just a little bit in order to activate and recruit those chest muscles, and decide whether you're going to do your push-ups on your toes or your knees. If you're on your toes, you're in the same position that you were just in terms of your plank, in terms of, you're resting on the balls of your feet. If you need to be on your knees for your push-ups, make sure that you make a 45-degree angle with between the thigh and the floor. So you're resting on the bottom part of the thigh, not actually on the knee joint, right? Not on the patella. Okay, let's start the 30 seconds now. You inhale as you lower your body. Exhale as you push back up. Remember, you're just bending the elbows. It's the only thing moving. And keep it going. Underway here with push-ups. You should be able to do 8 or 10 push-ups in 30 seconds, but that's moving pretty slowly, and of course that's complete control. If you go a little bit faster, you might do as many as 15 or 16 push-ups, and you're halfway through. I love push-ups. They're hard. They're quite challenging, and 30 seconds is no easy task. So you're doing a really great job. If you need to move a little slower, that's fine. Just try to keep it up for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and you're all set. And you get to turn over. So you're going to turn to your back now, and we're going to do a hip bridge. Really focus on, I told you, I promised a little bit of everything in this workout. It is all about the essentials, and these are essential moves. You really want to make sure in your sort of regimen that you program each week that you get, some movement, some exercise of your hips. Obviously, you need to work your arms, you need to work your back, you need to work the heart, you need to do a little bit of everything. And this is kind of a smattering of pretty much everything in terms of your body. So the hips are next, your hands are down by your sides, and your feet are on the floor, pinky toes and heels in line. Again, make sure that your toes don't turn out. So when you lift your hips up into this bridge, what you're going to do is press your toes into the floor in order to make sure that your body's distributing its weight equally throughout the front and back sides of the body. If you lift your toes up, what ends up happening is that your back and your thigh absorb more body weight than they probably can, but if you press your toes into the floor, then the back of the leg and your hips stay a little more engaged. Let's start the 30 seconds now, and you can do a couple things. You can either just hold this position, breathing deeply, or you can slowly lower your hips back down to the floor and lift up. Now, if you're super fit already, you want to lift one knee up off the floor, or 1 foot up off the floor. Then do that dip down and press up. Either way, just keep it going for another 10 seconds. You're doing great. Really make sure that those hips are as high as they possibly can be, but don't curl the pelvis in too much. And breathe. Very nice. Okay, you're all set with the hip bridge. Now we're going to do 2 moves in the tabletop position. So you're going to put your hands down on the floor, sit all the way up, put your hands on the floor beside your butt, fingers facing forward, and make sure your feet are separated to about hip width apart. Again, pinky toes and heels in line. Lift your body all the way up so that you're basically making a table with your torso and thigh. You want that flat tabletop as much as possible. The first thing you're going to do is something we call crab kicks. And all that is for 30 seconds, you're going to alternate lifting your knee up and sort of kind of kicking your foot out a little bit. You'll feel a little like a rocket, probably just kind of goofy. It's a little silly because you're also facing up and it feels weird, but it's really good for your body. You're going to get your heart rate back up this way. You're going to work the back of the leg. You are going to obviously engage your shoulders and your back, upper back in this position, and that's inevitable. So you have to trust me that this is going to be great for you. I know you're going to hate it, but you're going to do 30 seconds starting now. Go ahead and lift the right leg up and put the foot back down. Make sure as you're putting the feet back down, you don't slam your feet on the floor, and you return your feet to that pinky toe heel inline position so that your toes don't turn out. Keep the stable foot totally on the floor, like meaning press the toes in. You don't want the toes to come up so that the heel is absorbing all of your body weight. You're about halfway through. Very good. After this, we only have 4 moves left, and we're coming up on 20 minutes of our workout. Should be easily finished by a minute, about 25 minutes or so, maybe a little less. And you'll be on your way. Very good. Okay, now stay in this position. You want to stay up in the tabletop position. Now you're going to do a tricep dip. So now both feet stay on the floor, pinky toes and heels in line again. Press the toes into the floor and bend your elbows and then press up. 30 seconds starts now. So these are tricep dips. You're going to work the back of the arm, but by pressing your full foot into the floor, by not letting the toes come up off the floor, you're activating and using the glute and your hamstring quite a bit. You should feel that, in fact, and not just allowing the little teeny tiny tricep muscle, which doesn't get a lot of action in everyday life, but you are obviously isolating that in terms of the movement that you're doing by bending the elbows and then pressing back up, lifting your hips back to the tabletop position. 10 more seconds. Inhale as you bend your elbows. Exhale as you straighten your arms and lift back up. Keep it going. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, 3 ab moves to go and you will be finished. So bring your hands, lay back down on the floor, bring your hands behind your head, feet on the floor, knees bent again. This is a move we call the dead bug crunch, and you're going to lift your head and your shoulders and the top of your rib cage, bringing your elbows directly forward, meeting the knees as they come up off the floor as well, as the feet come up off the floor as well. So your elbows meet right in the middle, squeeze like a roly-poly might roll up, and then extend all the way back out to start, where your head goes back to the floor, your feet go back to the floor in every repetition. 30 seconds starts now. And again, start real slow. With crunches especially, I really prefer that you get some idea of the perfection of that form, where you really squeeze, especially as the elbows meet the knees, and then slowly extend back to the extended position. And as we continue through the 30 seconds, which we're about halfway, now you can start moving a little bit faster. And momentum is okay, because now you control those muscles, they know what they're doing, and you're going to build your heart rate up a little bit, and then just really fully enforce that move. The last couple of seconds here. Good. Okay, sit up for me one more time. 2 moves here. Hands down or on the floor beside your butt once more, and you're going to do a sculling crunch, which is where you bring your knees into your chest. Your feet are not on the floor. So lean back to about almost 45 degrees. You want to lean back your torso and engage your tummy muscles. Bring the knees into your chest and then extend your legs all the way out straight. All right, let's start the 30 seconds on that now. You can do a lot of these, and this is a move where you can actually build the momentum fairly quickly. So bring those knees in, extend out. You're about 10 seconds in. Start bringing them in a little bit faster. So we're 1 second in, 1 second out. Excellent. Keep it going. You're halfway through. A little more than halfway through, actually. Coming up here on 7 seconds. And I'll count you down here from 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Last move. Russian twist. Get a little rotation. As I said, we're going to do a little bit of everything, so we're sort of adding in a little bit of absolutely everything. The only thing we didn't do were kind of lateral sort of moves with the body on your side lying down, but maybe we'll focus on that next week. So the Russian twist is pretty easy. You're in the same position that you were just in your sculling crunch. You're going to make sure that you twist all the way to the right side, put both hands on the floor beside your butt, and then twist all the way to the left side and put your hands down on the floor beside your butt on that side. Time starts now. Last 30 seconds. You can do this. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Keep that lean back a little bit in order to engage your tummy muscles fully, the inner muscles, not just working those obliques a little bit there. And keep it going. Move a little bit faster now. Last 10 seconds. Very good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Congratulations. You definitely can get out of going to the gym with this workout. And I'm Kim Watkins from InShape Fitness in New York City. If you have any questions about the programming that we offer, you can contact us through the website, inshape-fitness.com. Get in touch with us via Facebook or Twitter, and I will be back next week for another new workout. Have a great day.